position in the First Blood Ford. Kurt Fisher, the brash new driver for veteran John Breen in the Micro Machines Chevrolet team from Missouri. Both these trucks will do battle against some of the toughest machines in the world. PIANT in the face as he intentionally propels himself towards this steel wall. Carson, who has miraculously survived several death-defying stunts already this year on ESPN, may be up against his toughest chore yet. The highest, heaviest, and wildest steel wall he's ever driven head-on into in a passenger car. Welcome to the 1991 Monster Truck Challenge Series. To the 1991 Monster Truck Challenge Series. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Roanoke Civic Center in Roanoke, Virginia. As you can see, a packed house of monster truck racing fans are getting ready for qualifying for this 8-truck field. And the very first machine up against the elapsed time clock, shooting for a position in the show, is the machine that did the tremendous amount of damage in the 1990 U.S. Open Association World Tour. This is St. Louis, Missouri's John Plant at the wheel of Bob Chandler's legendary Bigfoot Ford. A 4-foot-high dirt mogul just off the starting line, then a huge line of crush cars. PIANT on the brakes hard and stops it within inches of the wall. That may be a harbinger of things to come. It may be tight down there, but the elapsed time to beat, put up by PIANT, 4.11 seconds. Here's the killer of the 1991 season so far, Rob Fuchs in the First Blood Ford. A nosedive at the finish line, but he keeps it straight. The elapsed time for the homebrewed machine, 3.98 seconds. And by 13/100ths of a second, Fuchs takes over the #1 spot from Bigfoot. That'll bring up Ken Deppe's beautiful Whisky business rear-engine Chevrolet. Deppe conservative off the starting line, then taking a wild bounce when he got a little more aggressive down at the finish line. But the elapsed time for the Chevy, an exceptional 3.99 seconds. And Deppe moves into second ahead of Bigfoot. That'll bring the Ohio-based Weapon 1 Chevrolet of Jerry Richmond up. Again, conservative off the starting line, and even conservative down near the finish line. A couple of wild bounces, but the Weapon 1 Chevrolet records a 4.10, and as you can see, that'll knock Bigfoot all the way down to #4 with just 4 trucks having run. But still to come is the brash new kid on the block, Kurt Fisher and Mike Wine in the Jersey Outlaw Ford. Stay with us. We're back at the Roanoke Civic Center in Roanoke, Virginia, as we continue qualifying for this U.S. Open Association Monster Truck Showdown. And so far, it's been the Fords that have dominated. The #1 qualifying spot, Rob Fuchs in the First Blood F350 at 3.98 seconds is leading. But here is the unknown quantity in this field. The new kid, Kurt Fisher at the wheel of the Micro Machines Chevrolet. A rough landing on the brakes hard. He'll stop it before he hits the retaining wall. But the elapsed time, 3.77 seconds. In his first race, Fisher gets the #1 spot away from the Fords. Coming up next, a machine that debuted at the last U.S. Open Association National Championship event of the 1990 season in Houston, Texas. An incredible piece of equipment that, as you can see, has already developed quite a fan club. Marty Garza's rear-engined Overkill Ford. Although it looked like Garza was conservative off the starting line, I have a feeling that was more fuel delivery problems than anything else. The elapsed time, a disappointing 4.97 seconds. But coming up next, probably the most popular Ford-bodied and powered monster truck on the eastern seaboard. Mike Wine and the Super Winch sponsored Jersey Outlaw, obviously from the state of New Jersey, which has had more than its fair share of success this season, battling killers like Rob Fuchs. Wine and the machine has always proven to be one of the quickest and fastest trucks out there, but this year recently has been hard on parts. And as you can see, it looks like Mike Wine is being held up on the starting line for some reason by the officials. Finally, they give him the green. And they give him the green, and Wine just idles it off the starting line. Finally getting after it down near the finish line, but apparently, obviously knowing that he could easily cruise into the field, he does so with a 4.98 second elapsed time that'll right now put him in the number 7 position. But the big story in qualifying was the kid, Kurt Fisher, at the wheel of John Breen's Micro Machine Chevy, taking the pole at 377 over the man who has dominated this sport this season, the incredible Rob Fuchs in the First Blood Ford. But coming up, we've got side-by-side monster truck eliminations, including the Big Blue Ford, Bigfoot, and that new kid, Kurt Fisher. Stay with us. Here at the Roanoke Civic Center in Roanoke, Virginia, a packed house of fans is now ready. We've determined the qualifying positions. Now it's time for side-by-side monster truck eliminations. And the very first machine wheeling around is the surprise number 3 qualifier in this field, Ken DEPPE, against this piece of equipment. Probably the best-known four-wheeler in automotive history. John PIANT at the wheel of the Bigfoot Ford. DEPPE's Whisky business qualified number 3, while Bigfoot ended up number 5 in this program, as John PIANT was the first man out in qualifying and took the course very conservatively. As it turned out, the drivers behind him got more aggressive and knocked the Big Blue Ford down from its customary top 3 qualifying spots. DEPPE's rear-engine Whisky business Chevrolet, definitely the underdog here, though. And certainly he's going to have to try and gain some kind of starting line advantage. The whole shot is needed here because nobody would underestimate the ability of the Bigfoot Ford after just one qualifying effort. Waiting for the green light. And the whole shot goes to the Chevrolet. But PIANT and the Ford drives around for the win by less than 5 feet. This time around, it'll be Jerry Richmond in the far lane in the Weapon 1 Chevy against Mike Wine in the Jersey Outlaw. The Chevy qualified number 4. The Ford in the number 7 spot with that easy run. Something wrong up at the starting line. Jerry Richmond is upset. And now the starting line crew is going up and talking to Mike Wine in a rather stern manner. And the crowd doesn't like it one bit. Jerry Richmond out of the truck saying, "What's the deal?" It appeared that Mike Wine may have started rolling forward as the trucks were staging and moved well ahead of the starting line. But Richmond is upset. Talking things over with the starting line crew, asking why the start was not the way it was supposed to be. And the crowd apparently is behind the Chevrolet driver. Now it looks like it's going to be a conference between the 2 drivers. And Jerry Richmond is obviously upset with the starting line annex of Mike Wine. It appears that Wine may have also damaged something in the drivetrain on the starting line. Jerry Richmond now obviously asking whether or not this is going to be a solo run. And the starting line officials say it will be a single into the semifinal round. Apparently Mike Wine did do some damage to the drivetrain of the Jersey Outlaw during that starting line escapade. And Richmond's truck bogs right off the starting line. It comes back around at the finish, but Richmond is actually lucky he didn't have an opponent in the other lane when the Chevrolet stumbled as the green light came on. Unbelievable.